All right, moving on to our live feature. As you know, we always start with our live feature to really ground us in what recovery community centers are. And we are very happy today to have with us Brian Robbins from CCAR, and he's going to tell us what it's like when you walk through the door of his RCC. Brian, take it away, please.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. I was thinking earlier, I was gonna do the script of, what happens when somebody like new or first enters into our center, but I was driving into work today and we've been expanding our hours in our services at our centers lately. So I've been working some a little more in depth within the centers and some extended hours training evening staff and weekend staff. So I had a great conversation with one of our volunteers in our center last week, and it just came to me this morning, and I want to share it with you. In our Hartford Center, we have a gentleman, one of our volunteers. I mean, this person has struggled with addiction in the lifestyle for over 30 years, and in and out of jackpots and jails and prisons and things like that. And he started coming to our center about 4 or 5 months ago, and he's uh and so I had a conversation with him the other day, because I seen him walking up to our center, and he looked like he was stressed, he was stiff. And when he walked in, he sat down in the front of the center right near reception, and you kind of like just seen him just get comfortable. So we there was a few of us around. We were talking, we were engaging, and so I asked him. I said, "How you doing today? How's things going?" And he goes, "Better because I'm here." Right. So, in leading up to this day, we had prior conversations about, he really didn't know like what he was looking for. He didn't really know like what really motivated his spirit. And he had a little fear around like, trying new things. But what so we have some groups that are in our center, that some holistic groups, some mindfulness and things like that. And come to find out, these are the things that he's interested in. And because he was with his peers and with community within the center, he had the courage to start to go into these groups. So now, that night that he came in and he was a little stressed out and everything, we talked. And then he got up and he went into one of the group rooms, and I noticed. I walked away, I did a couple of things, and I noticed when I went back, he was sitting down with him and another volunteer, and they had these adult coloring books, and they had the colored pencils out, and he was sitting there coloring. He had his headphones on, he had some light music going on, and he was just coloring. So afterwards, he was sitting there for about a half hour, and our yoga group was coming in. And this is something that he had found for himself. He had just started to participate like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he is finding that this is what really fills his spirit. He's finding some things that he never thought that he would engage in, that is really what interests him. He's finding community, he's finding himself, and through the support with others in the center, he feels okay to walk into those groups. So now when I see him, I go into the group. On the last evening, I was working in the evening, he was participating in the yoga group. He was going to our drumming group that we have on Wednesdays, and the look on his face and his posture when he leaves those groups is like of total freedom. Like he is centered, he's in his space. So I asked him about it. I said, "So how is those groups working for you?" He said, "Brian, let me tell you something." He said, "I know you kind of know where I come from. I come from the lifestyle." He's from the south side of Hartford, grew up on the streets, and suffered with his addiction for over 30 years, in and out, and never being able to find something that really worked for him, that fed his spirit. He said He goes, I don't know what exactly happens when I sit in on that yoga group and that drumming group, but all I know is I'm going to continue to go, because when I leave there, it's nothing that I've ever felt before in my life. So we started to have a conversation about mindfulness and meditation and yoga, and about how to continue to expand and to explore that. And I'm going to see him tonight. So I'm going to see how, because I was telling staff in the center, I said, so these are the things that we pay attention to when people come in our center. This is what happens. Our centers, we believe our centers are recovery sanctuaries, and transformed people transform people. So I believe that this volunteer is in that process. So now the conversation that continues with him is like where we pick up from where we last left off. So, he's exploring, he's reading, he's searching on the internet more about mindfulness and meditation and yoga and these experiences. And because he's finding that this is what's working for him now. So when you ask me that question, like, what happens when you walk into a recovery community center? Transformed people transform people. That's what happens. Exploration, community, recovery, right? So, and that is what really excites me about the work that I do. Because if it wasn't for me being in this expansion, I wouldn't be covering a lot of these hours. I'm in the center a whole lot more right now. I'm actually sitting in our brand new center in New Haven that we just moved into yesterday. So I've been a little more able to sit back and engage with volunteers and participants and have those conversations. And the conversations that I've been having are beautiful. They're beautiful conversations that I've been having. So I'm really excited about this movement. I'm really excited about the volunteers and the participants that are finding recovery, the ones that are seeking recovery and finding themselves, and finding what really touches their spirit that allows them to get another day, and so I will keep it brief because I can be long-winded. But I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate being invited, and I hope that story touched somebody, because I know it touched me. Thank you.